This is the Oakwyn Podcast, featuring Morgan Browne and Michael Yu.
And welcome to the Oakwyn Podcast. I am Morgan Browne.
I'm Michael Yu.
And I'm the Podfather.
And we're sitting here eating Morgan's grandma's molasses cookies.
That's right. And some cat mug coffee.
That's right. I think there's marijuana in these, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Nana never skips that.
Hey, dude.
Nana.
I don't know where I'd parked.
Podcast is going downhill quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you? Oh my gosh, it was so funny. This is a small little funny thing.
Okay.
So Seth Rogen I just was watching Seth Rogen on YouTube. I technically only watch YouTube. But basically,
sure.
He was talking to Jimmy Fallon, and he was invited to the Adele show. Did you guys hear this?
Adele show?
I heard about
What-
So
okay.
he went on to the Adele, so there was a big invite to all the people, some people from Hollywood, and it was it's just a little show in a garden. And so Seth was like, perfect. This sounds like a fun thing to bring my wife to.
Mm-hmm.
So they before they were like, oh yeah, we'll just go. They went and smoked so much weed.
Mm-hmm.
They got completely blazed.
Mhm.
And they show up and it's a huge event for
Okay.
Adele.
like a TV special.
TV
Oh,
special.
really?
And he's front row.
So, and then they put him in 1B and 1A, and because he's like,
Okay.
oh, we'll just skimp into the background.
Yeah.
The wife's like, we better because we're stoned.
Yeah.
And they were like, you're front and center. And he said
Right.
that people all around, Oprah was behind him,
Yeah.
everyone was behind him. They're all like, how did he get these seats in front? Anyways, that's so funny. And of course, local Seth Rogen just.
Were they friends or something like that? Or
No,
is it
that's what he
just
kept on
kinda
saying. He's
so
like, I don't even
that's
know
so
this.
random.
He's like, I don't know why
I don't
I'm
even know
here.
why I'm here.
Something about Seth Rogen is I'm very proud of him because he's a Vancouver bred and born
True.
guy.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
He
So
kind of
good.
grew up in the same streets we grew up in. So if that guy can make it, we all can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so true.
But he's so funny though.
He's hilarious. And everything he does just turns to gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he do? He started potting in the pandemic. He started making pots, and then he sold one for the first one he tried to sell sold for $12,000.
Oh,
or
really?
something.
Yes.
Yeah. It's crazy. And it's stuff it looks cool, but
Mhm.
it's stuff a kid could make, but
Right.
it's just selling for tons of money.
Well, I think it's just I feel like he's someone that my guess is really follows his intuition. It's okay,
Yeah.
I want to do this. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. And let
Totally.
the chips fall where they fall.
Yeah, and they always fall in the right spot. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Don't you guys think it's
Point Grey.
so Braden's wearing a Christmas sweater.
Dun, dun,
It's
dun,
feels
dun,
like it's
dun,
so
dun.
fast. It's here already. It's end of year. It's Christmas time.
It feels weird.
Don't we
Doesn't-
deserve something good, right? Our province almost burnt down, and then almost.
We've had
the
like
Grinch,
four.
so-
We've had 4 natural disasters in 2021.
Yeah.
4 in BC alone.
4 in BC.
It's just messed up. You
Yeah.
know, we've had
Well,
a
the
really
flood.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah, I built Noah's
dome,
Ark.
The dome. the heat dome. We had the heat
Heat
dome
dome.
that we
Heat
had all
dome.
over BC. That
Oh,
was
right,
around
right. Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
Were you
before.
not here for that?
I was
Soph was just
eating
born.
these cookies. Your grandma and I are really close.
And then the fires.
Yeah.
And then what was the last one?
Floods,
Oh, the floods.
Floods, fires, heat dome,
Yeah. And then there was one more.
locusts. right?
pandemic.
Pandemic.
Yeah.
There you
Oh
go.
yeah, COVID.
Oh, that
Forget about
that
that
little
one,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it just feels like it's it's happening so fast.
It is happening
Yeah.
so fast.
Yeah.
2021 has gone by very quickly,
Right.
and both of us had kids.
Yeah. It's
that's
for
been crazy.
Soph's first Christmas. What's your favorite Christmas carol?
Holy Night.
Holy Night.
Yeah.
How does that one go again?
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. Da 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 da.
Wow, so is that I guess that's Jesus' birth.
Yeah.
No, okay. How about yours, Braden?
It's got to be Silver Bells.
Oh,
I sing Silver Bells all year round. Silver Bells.
Silver
Oh yeah,
bells.
so you're
Silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city.
Ring a
I don't know anything but that first line. And Michael?
I think I like as a kid I liked All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All I want for Christmas is my two front teeth. Can you whistle?
No, I can't whistle.
Oh, skills. The musician.
Of course.
Yes.
Can you whistle? Yeah.
I can't whistle very well.
Let's. Yeah,
That's how I get the girls.
We went to see my grandparents, my grandmother at her home in Victoria.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a really exciting thing this weekend because she hasn't seen any of her grandchildren. So she's a great grandmother. So she's like, because of COVID, right?
Yeah.
And she's older. So they were really stringent about who's coming in and blah, 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 blah. So she just like threw this big party.
Okay.
And it was a rager. It was like a rager. And she had all of the
Party grandma.
her kids, then her like, I guess her brother's kids, and then all their kids, and then all the great grandkids, and then my kids, great grandparents.
Wow.
And it was like,
How many people were there?
there was like only, because it's a small family, I think it was like 30.
Wow, that's
35.
that's a lot.
It was a lot
Yeah.
in like an old folks home. And it was, and all these,
It was in an
all
old
these-
folks home?
yeah, and all these old people kept on walking in thinking they were part of the party
Yeah.
because they're just dementia and
Right.
stuff. And they were like, oh yeah, like walking. And Nana was like, get out of here, Fred. Get out of here, Peter. Like totally Vic,
Right.
But all of my family like to sing, speaking of this.
Oh,
because
did they?
they're all kind of, there's a big like musical thing in our family where my Nana's father was the pianist at the Empress.
Mm.
So there's a little bit of like, my sister's a musician in LA, and my cousin is like has his own album, and my brother and my other cousin are like singers. They all like to sing and play the guitar and hit the
Very
beats.
musical. Yeah.
And so it was like, it just turned out to being just like a funny thing. Me and my other cousin are not musical. So there's the other two, and we're just laughing, and
Were they like singing and playing music?
yeah, they were all like singing they had a mic and
there was
everyone is singing,
karaoke?
and they were playing the piano.
Oh, wow.
No karaoke, just like they just sing. And so me and my other cousin, we're the loud ones. We're like in the background drinking, right? We're like, yeah, like laughing our eyes. And all the parents are like, Ashley and Morgan, you haven't changed together. You're still so loud. Like it was just, anyways, what I thought was very funny is you just can't take away family. Like, like those cousin moments where you just are back when you're like 10, and those moments of your cousins are so important. And now having a family, like I'm really gonna try and push my kids to be really close with Mike's family, even though my family's not here. Other people that they can really just make those moments,
Yeah.
So they feel good.
So like, did you feel like you were reverting back to the old times and like your old self?
Me and Ashley are like two peas in a pod. We're
really?
we're like the closest. We're still the closest. Our kids are like similar ages.
Okay.
So it's like we still talk a lot. She's a teacher.
What was she like? Was
She's-
she as like obnoxious
She's
as you?
way
or-
louder than me.
Oh.
She's louder than me. She's louder
No
than
way.
me. She's totally louder
Yeah,
than me.
right.
Oh, Ashley's like so loud. My mom actually said that on the ferry. My mom said that on the ferry.
I didn't think it was possibly more
so-
obnoxious than you. So.
I'm loud, but I'm like not like she can get like really like yelly. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah, like yelly. She's probably gonna listen to this.
Get a couple drinks into her.
Yeah,
and she just starts, like,
and especially Victoria. Victoria, they like to drink.
Do they?
Well, island people are kind of, they like to hit back the glitter bomb.
What's glitter bomb?
Yeah.
Philip's glitter bomb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
great
okay.
beer.
Oh,
yeah.
it's
great
a beer.
beer.
I
It's a
was
great
like,
beer.
Glitter
Thank you.
bomb.
It's a great beer.
It's a hazy IPA.
It's a hazy IPA.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. I was telling Arlene that I was saying, and the reason why we went over, because we just got back from Hawaii, is because one of my uncles is really sick. So he's been
How's he doing?
he's okay. He's going through, that's my cousin's, Ashley's father, which is really
And he's on the island.
on the island. So we went and saw him because, it's really important to touch base with your family right now because you just never know when those times are going to end. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of
Just
people.
saying that to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Go out there and call your uncle, even though they're not like directly there.
My uncle.
I know.
He's the
Uncle,
worst.
is he?
Oh, yeah? What happened with your uncle? Where did he touch you?
Just kind of a.
Tell me about that, Brayden. Tell
Point
us
out
about
on this doll where he touched you.
It's just
Too much, Mike. Too much.
in my brain where it hurts. It's just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
a
yeah.
con
Yeah, it's
artist.
just a con
really?
artist. Yeah, the bad, the floozy one.
Yeah, yeah. Like he
You know?
moved.
Like rip people off.
Yeah, kind of. Well, tried to, but he's not very good at it. He moved to China to try and be like the rich white guy in China, and just I don't know, it just hasn't worked out for him. And he's trying to get back now, but they won't really let him back. So.
Really?
That's like so intense.
Our government's kind of like, you had your chance. Like we offered to get everybody home at the start of COVID.
Right.
Yes.
Oh,
You stayed
wow.
there, so good luck, kind of thing. So,
Wow.
yeah, that's my
Right, you hear
uncle.
that?
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's uncle. What about your uncle?
I have lots of uncles. My my dad had 4 brothers. Sorry, like he's one of 5, and I'm also one of 5. So, yeah, we had a lot of cousins growing up, and we had the same type of kind of big family gatherings type of stuff. And yeah, like when we get together now too, it's just like you just go back to like when they used to like we were this young family. So
Yes.
like my dad's brothers and sisters were a lot older than him, so we were all like tiny, and then they were all teenagers and stuff. So they would like practice all their like wrestling moves on us, like their specialties. And so my brother and I was like, this is abuse.
got beat up pretty
yeah,
good.
I
Eh?
got beat up pretty good.
It's kind of funny though, because then
Yeah.
you see like my son
Right.
and daughter with all of my cousin's kids.
Yeah.
And it's super cute. You know, like they're
Right.
all like Santa came and they all were like
Oh, okay.
sharing. Santa, my nana. My nana's so funny. She's like, I got Santa Claus. I paid him with vodka. I was like, what, Nana? She's like, yeah, vodka. Hope he doesn't drink it before he comes in. That's what he
so
said. My
funny.
Nana's very funny. She's
Yeah.
a Legion type woman. She's hilarious. She told me, I thought it was.
Do you have a lot like do you take any of your personality traits from your grandma? Like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
would those be?
Lots of energy. Like she's got so much energy. She's 89 now. And when I got there, I was like, Nana, like everything looks like this is a great place. Like I haven't been to this facility yet. And she goes, yeah, except the gardens. I had to deploy I had to deploy 5 of the guys downstairs to help me. They're all in their 80s. They're really slow. And then eventually I was like, I have no money. So I decided to do a garage sale. And then I did the garage sale. I made $850, Morgan. $850.
Wow.
And then I went and I couldn't get the soil. So I went and brought the bag. It's like she has so much energy. That's for surely. Yeah, that's her. And she's good with money and she's very smart and she's very quick witted and she's a boss. So that's sounds like me, right?
It does sound like you. Morgan selling my wheelchair at the old age home. Like, you don't need that.
She's so funny.
Well,
Here's
you
an
needed some
office
soil.
chair. Yeah.
You need some soil.
Yeah. She has such words of wisdom, right? Yeah.
I think like it's such a this is the time to reach out and to like connect with family and stuff like that and to do those types of things. Do you have what are your family like what's the right family tradition?
Okay, so my husband's family is Danish. So we have Juleaften, which is a
What's that?
Danish Christmas. So it's like Juleaften.
Juleaften?
Juleaften. And it's on the 24th. So leading up to the 25th, you light a candle on a reef outside. And every day it's like Hanukkah. You know, like
Okay.
every day you'd make a wish, but it's on a reef and it's hanging outside.
Oh, okay.
And you have akavit. So akavit is like this very, it's like a sambuca, but like even stronger. It's like it's like so intense. And you need the little glasses. And then on Christmas Eve, everyone takes shots of these akavits and stuff. But then we take the tree and we bring it into the middle of the living room, and everyone holds hands and we sing a Danish carol and we light the candles on the tree.
Okay.
So you have to like sing around the song. It's like very funny and festive.
Yeah.
But it's super cute. Like it's very German, kind of Danish.
Yeah.
Like who puts
Is that
candles
like- is
on
that
a
a-
tree?
Sounds so dangerous.
So dangerous. So Sean's dad stands there literally with a
Fire
With a
fire
fire
extinguisher because he's scared.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this is gonna burn down my house.
Yeah.
But it never happens. But that's it. That's our Christmas Eve. And then in the Browne family, we don't do turkey or anything. My dad does a super seafood like feast, and we do like crab and lots of because my dad hates turkeys and stuff. But that's what we do. And then now in my family, we do advent calendars like for Quinn, and we do.
Okay, what is an advent calendar again? Like, I see them. I don't know what they are.
They're just like leading up to the 25th of December.
Okay.
There's a chocolate or something in.
Oh, and then
treat.
you open
Open it up.
every day. You open up and you get a little.
treat.
Not my advent calendars.
What's yours?
Beer.
Oh, I love it. Are you serious?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I should have done this.
My birthday is November 26th, and
Oh.
every
Yeah.
year I ask my wife. She's like, "What do you want for your birthday?" Beer advent calendar. Beer advent calendar every year. It's
Laura's
perfect.
like, sure, okay.
Yeah, it's an easy. one.
Easy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always like, those are things are fun, right?
Yeah. Well, you got to have some family
Yeah.
traditions. That's like.
And then Sean and I, we do like a big Christmas breakfast, and then we do, we're big about that. But Sean's birthday is like this week. So
Yeah.
he's like, it's birthday time.
When you stack your birthday around Christmas, it's just you get ripped as a kid.
I think so too.
Yeah, because you like
You're perfect. You're like a month ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's
You know,
far enough away, isn't he?
He's like the 9th. I feel like it's still like,
it's still enough. Like this is for
Yeah.
birthday. Or this is your birthday and Christmas.
Yeah.
You get a present and a half instead
yeah,
of two
exactly. Like I
presents.
just bought this kid a
Yeah.
present. Why does he need another present?
my friend had her baby. My friend had her baby on Christmas Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Ben Loyal. If you're listening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ben Loyal and Megan. They had their baby right on.
Oh, okay.
Christmas
This
Day.
is their second.
This is their second. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sloan. Yeah,
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sloan.
Baby
Sloan's
Jesus.
a cool name.
yeah, Sloan.
Yeah.
They're in Mexico right now, enjoying their lives. But I would say like, yeah, and she's like, she's gonna be gypped. I'm like, yeah, I should think she's gonna be gypped.
If you, so her name is Sloan.
Yeah.
You like you like the
Unisex name.
unisex names, right?
Yeah, it's more like, it's funny because people always like with Lennon and Quinn.
Yeah.
People always think Lennon's Quinn and Quinn's Lennon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, and I'm like, I love this. It makes it so difficult for them. It's
That's
the
gonna be
best.
out of place on the west
Or like,
side. That's
I know
super-
Morgan Lennon and Quinn. Sean's just like Sean, but like we all have different names. It's funny.
If you had a third, what would their name be?
Brock.
He's gonna be good looking.
Yeah.
Actually, I like
And-
Owen. I like Owen.
Owen?
Yeah, for girl or guy. Owen.
Owen for a girl too.
Yeah, Owen. It's beautiful.
Is
name.
Owen a girl's name?
I don't think so.
I think I've never. Yeah,
only,
Owen.
only
Owen.
an East fan. Only-
Yeah, East Van. I will be for life. Okay, and my kids were born on East Van, so they actually have a shirt that says East Van for life.
Really?
Thank you, Gary Sarah. Yeah. He actually got me a beautiful shirt, so I want to say thank you to Gary for that one.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe he's listening. Hi,
He
Gary.
is listening. He always
Yeah,
is.
Gary was
Gary's the
nice and he
best.
sent us a text. Yeah.
Yeah, he's I'm moving closer to Mike. Everybody, that's really the only reason why I'm moving there. It's all about him.
Let's hear the story of Morgan's move. So like that happened fast.
Okay, so
okay.
so
tell us
we
the
have
tale.
been. Yeah, well, first of all, I employed Michael Yu and his team.
Ooh, that was your first mistake.
Seemed to have worked out.
You know how it's funny? I won't talk about too much about this, but I find it fascinating that I always tell my clients, like, you'll know when you walk in.
Mhm.
And I'm like, people are like, really, does that like actually happen? You know, like, and I can tell you, I just did that. I walked into a house. It was not the neighborhood I was looking in the neighborhood, but I also was like, oh, it has to be the right home. And I walked into the house and I was like, whoa. It was like instant. I was like, I need this house. I asked Mike, I was really adamant. I was like, I need this house.
I'm like, take a breath. Like, I just finished looking at a house. What where are you? Turn on your computer. Get over here.
Everyone has their, it's funny. Everyone has their person. Mike is that for me. He's my good luck charm on certain things for sure. And I'm always like, if I have a good idea it has something to do with money.
Why?
I call Michael. I'm like, Mike, what do you think about this?
I'm at Dollar Bowling right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got the house, and which is awesome. And then we listed our place,
Yeah.
and we ended up selling to an Oakwynite, which was an Oakwynite client,
Right.
Gina Rossi's.
Yeah. It was very serendipitous. And you were
Yes.
away this whole time.
And
so
I wrote
Morgan
the
was-
offer on my husband and I's 7-year anniversary, and we got it on Remembrance Day, which is very weird because on Remembrance Day, my father-in-law was thinking of his great-grandfather or his grandfather, who ended up living in the house 7 houses away from this house. So like, it's just like a very funny, like, Did we tell you that? No, we haven't told you that
No.
because we saw Brayden in Hawaii. So yeah, it was very.
Yeah, because the sellers knew Sean's family, right?
No, I asked them. They
Okay.
didn't know them,
Okay.
but the people next door, who's an agent at another brokerage, knew me.
Mhm.
So he was like, "Give it to Morgan."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was actually Reed Matheson. So
Yeah.
if you're listening, Reed, thanks so much.
Yeah,
my
so
new neighbor.
That's a big move.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We're already ripping through everything right
Oh,
now.
yeah?
Yeah.
Do you are you like organized with your moving, or do you just like, is it chaos?
This time we're trying to be more organized. Like we bought those big Tupperware
Okay.
things just because we have a crawl space now
Yeah.
like in our house. So we're just gonna. It'll be easier for us to like choose which one to pull out. You know, like boxes. It's like annoying because you're like, which one does this one say? Does this one say kitchen? So we're doing lots of storage things underneath the crawl space, and then yeah.
I've never like, I detest stuff. So
Yeah, I know.
I like to like minimal everything. So like, I just throw everything away.
Yeah, and that's a way. Actually, it's
like
so
a purge.
smart. Like,
Yeah.
but I think if you have like a lot of kids stuff, if you're gonna have more kids, you kind
Yeah.
of need to keep it because you don't want to like re-buy it.
Yeah, totally. But I feel like I kind of feel bad for Soph because she has like 3 or 4 outfits and we're just like on
Constant.
repeat. They're just on repeat because I like them how they fit. I like how like they have like little mitts on them and
Yeah,
stuff like that. So I just bought like 4 of the exact same thing.
That's so you.
Exactly.
Michael only has like 4 shirts. 4, yeah.
And like it's just on rotate because on Monday and Friday is laundry day.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so it's just like 4 days, you get it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
As
it's
a
the way to
kid,
go.
she doesn't care.
Yeah, she
right?
doesn't
She
care.
doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't care. You just have to have hand-me-downs from like cousins and stuff.
Yeah. So this is forever home for you too, right?
This is done. We're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know how me. I'm like
3 to 5.
Yeah. No, I don't think
I
so.
feel like this
No.
this one felt like
Really home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like really
Yeah.
feels like, and I this is funny because I grew up in this neighborhood. So I walked to school up this street, and for my husband, it's like a new neighborhood. He doesn't know anything about it. He's
Yeah.
really lost. He's like, guess what? There's a there's a park here. And I'm like, I used to get drunk there. Oh man.
I made out with some guy
Yeah. Exactly.
Don't go to that park.
Don't go to that park.
He might be still be lurking around.
Yeah.
Waiting for me. I
And
told him
it's-
I'd be back.
I think it's super cool because the neighborhood is, I know a lot of the families. So I know the families that are like, that have the kids. Like my neighbor directly has a 3-year-old and a 2-month-old. And then the one across has 3 kids. So I'm going to like start to,
Yeah.
community.
This is the longest intro ever. We gotta
Okay.
we gotta
This
we
is
gotta
a
do it.
podcast?
Yeah.
We're catching up.
So we
Let's just dive into it.
let's
then.
dive into
Let's
it.
just dive into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about 2021.
Year in review.
You in review.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about, I'll give you some numbers to make it.
Yeah. So obviously, I was really surprised. If you go back to our predictions episode, do you remember our predictions
Yes.
episode, Morgan?
Yeah.
Where we predicted what was going to happen in 2021, and the results are who was right.
Who was right this year?
It was me.
Big
Yeah.
surprise, Morg.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Let's talk about next year. I'm excited to give my predictions for the new year.
No, okay.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. I was more conservative. Obviously, we've just gone through like a super hot seller's market.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go over some townhouse stats, some condos, and all the rest of that kind of stuff, and percentage in changes and things like that for us to be well equipped to explain what happened last year. So we'll do that up next. Okay, up next.
Thanks so much for listening to the Oakwyn podcast. If you've enjoyed this podcast,
You're welcome.
please give us a 5 out of 5 on the review below. And if you're an agent that's curious about our office
Yeah.
or would like to know more about the brokerage,
Yeah, I wanna learn more
please
about
go
Oakwyn.
to oakwyn.com/join. Write in that message box, pod 2021, and receive a beautiful piece of mystery swag. We look forward to meeting you with one of our Oakland representatives.
Awesome. See you soon. Welcome back. We're talking all things looking back, 2021. So how was the year for resale, and how was the year at our office, Morgan?
Our office was slammed.
I know.
I think we did over 6,000 transactions for this year
I think
so far.
I remember the deal count being really high. So some, spoiler alert, not so spoiler alert. Yeah. So I think this year will repeat last year, which Oakwyn, fortunately enough, was the highest performing office in the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver,
Mm-hmm.
which is our market, Oakwyn HQ.
Yeah.
And
And downtown.
Yeah.
Individual
and downtown
office.
will be also the number one office in downtown, I believe, according to the MLS board statistics, single office stats. Which is kind of cool.
It is very cool.
It's weird to think that, hey?
I mean, it's weird, but then it's also like our agents are so good.
Yeah.
And they're so busy and they're like just on it. So I feel like they should be in an office like that.
Yeah, like we have. I was just in the hall this morning, and just like hanging out, just casually hanging out, is like Peachback, which is like one of the top agents in our marketplace, and we're just kind of like shooting the proverbial S word, and we're just kind of like talking about life, and they're just like. Everyone around us is, really doing a lot of business.
They're excelling. They're excelling and they're hitting their targets.
And they're so open.
And they're so open about it
awesome.
and they're moving. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, same with me. Like I had a really great meeting with a couple incredible agents at our office. Steve Sharetsky, who's been on our team or on our podcast and a bunch of other people. And they just have hit all their targets and surpassing them to great lengths. And I think it's because, of course, they're super good with their clients, but this market has really pushed that. Number one, like our lowest interest rates has been a huge denominator of people wanting to get into the market and affording to get into the market. It's been a seller's market. So places like affordable homes in Vancouver are now East Side homes have always been very, very hot, but now even more so. So communities are getting built out, and the growth in our city, right? There's been so much growth. It's mainly principal resident Canadian, like Vancouverites.
Yeah,
buying.
Obviously the pandemic, a lot of foreign investment hasn't happened, and they also the provincial government instituted the foreign taxes and all the rest of the regulations that have kind of made some short-term changes to the market, but overall it's just been like a very busy year in all different market segments. It's actually been a big surprise because I kind of thought at the beginning of the year that we would return because 2020 was abnormally busy for a pandemic as well. But then, so I thought 2021 would cool and be more of a regular market, a balanced market, and kind of, we would be able to like kind of tread water a little bit. But instead, it was just like super busy. And it still is
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are still dominating.
People are still yeah.
And not only that, like I think what you'll see is the average home price was predicted to kind of go up 17% in 2021. And it's gone up a huge amount in all of Greater Vancouver. And people are, people are always wondering, like, why Vancouver, Mike? Like, what is it that makes it such a flourishing, incredible soil for people to come in and make money in a real estate? What do you think it is?
Well, a couple things. One is a really constrained supply. So, we just use let's just use pure logic. We have a certain number of single detached lots in, I think it's something like 40 something.
40,
yeah, something in the 40 or 50,000 single detached lots in Vancouver. And that's it. You're not going to be able to have another one, like have more lots.
No, land.
Yeah. So what's actually happening is that number is shrinking because as single detached homes become more rare and more townhouses and condos and duplexes become available, it's just a shrinking supply. So obviously, like the housing market has shifted substantially, and then our population growth versus supply of new properties is disproportionate. So there's more people entering and living and residing in Vancouver and Greater Vancouver than the number of homes being built. So when you have this kind of unbalanced and unweighing kind of different scale, it does drive prices up because there's just more demand than there is supply. So, that's kind of I think that's a big impetus. And plus, like, kind of globally, internationally, macroeconomically, Canada is a very, very safe place to raise your children, to live, stable government, virtually no crime, good health care, public education, public health, like environmentally great.
Fresh air,
fresh water.
Yeah. That's a big component of it. That's what I've been hearing globally. Yeah. And I feel like, and there's a climate for everyone in BC.
Yeah, like, and there's there's virtually no political unrest. Like,
that's right.
I think another market that I kind of see as a mirrored market to Canada and Vancouver specifically is Australia. But they're going through a lot of
they're doing a lot of COVID.
Yeah, political decision making, which is, I think making globally a lot of international investors and stuff like that a bit weary about the real estate market there, somewhat of.
They're very similar climate to us here. Yeah. And just with regards to sale price, 10 years ago, so let's get some numbers out here. The median sale price 10 years ago in January 2011 was $856,000. That was 10 years ago. And now it's 1.85. 1.85. It's doubled.
200 something percent.
Yeah. It's a huge amount. So that's our detached. When we're looking at attached, it was 10 years ago, it was 365,000. And now we're looking at 650,000.
Wow. So it's doubled.
And then townhouses, which is a big 466,000 10 years ago. And now it's 1 million flat.
Jeez.
So it really does show that climate, and then we're looking at year over year, I would say January of 2020, we were looking at 750,000 for townhouses, and now it's at $1 million. That was a year ago.
So that's like a 33, that's a 33% increase.
That's right.
Wow.
Attached market in January 2020 was 585,000. Now it's 665, as I mentioned. And detached was 1.3 million. And now it's at 1.85.
Jeez.
So it's been a rapid growth. I think you're right. I think our government has been a big, I watched a couple of Twitter feeds quite a lot about our market, and they're saying, how can we really make it more affordable? It's a huge conversation that they have every time at the government. Like, how are we going to make this more affordable? It's affordable living. So they've done everything like speculation tax. They've done vacancy rate tax. They've done tax. But one thing they haven't done is really increase that interest rate. So people are predicting that to happen coming up.
Yeah.
But that's a huge amount for last year. Yeah. And that's like COVID. That was like January 2020. And everyone always says, it's a lot of overseas money. Yeah. For the last 2 years, it hasn't been.
Yeah.
So what is driving that? I think a lot of people wanting to work from home, more space, wanting to detach market because of that, as you said. And it's pushing up all those other things like townhouses and apartments. Yeah.
And the general economy is doing very well as well. Obviously the stock market is thriving. And I think it's unexpected, but the unemployment levels are low. So there's a lot of rosiness, but I think that there are some warning signs down in the horizon. Obviously raising inflation, potentially rising interest rates. So there's some stuff that's coming up that we should be conscious of, but it's good to kind of get some of the hard data and the facts, because a lot of people, I think a lot of agents right now are making their kind of year-end Happy New Year calls and Merry Christmas calls. And then a lot of the times you'll want some form of information to be able to share with clients, if they're like, how was the year past and what do you guys see in the future? So we're going to do the next couple pods about that.
That's great.
Yeah. What do you say when so let's say you're doing a holiday call. We're going to do some role playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
What's up, guys? Role playing.
That's your
What's up?
that's how you talk to your clients.
I actually have been. I'm actually setting more meetings. Actually,
okay.
Like with my clients that are like my core 20, 25 or 20. Try to do 10 to 20, and Desi and I kind of split those up, and we go for it because I really miss seeing people.
Yeah.
Because
you guys used to do like an event, like a client event, right?
We used to do a client event. We just brought 2 more people onto our team. So Donovan and Wayne Bernard, and we're actually rebranding. It's going to be called the Morgan Browne Collective.
Oh,
Kinda
really?
cool. Yeah, real estate group. And they're going for it. It's a little bougie, a little fun, but we're all like setting those tones to call them.
Why the collective?
So our new logo is a constellation of 5 stars, and it means like we're your guiding stars. Kind
Wow.
of thing. Yeah. I shouldn't be mentioning this. Desi's probably like, don't tell anybody.
Did we just beat
Don't
this
tell
all out?
anybody. Yeah. I'm like, whatever. And it was just, it's a new, fresh, I was always solo for many years, and I had Desi, and I've had a couple people come on. Now this team is really honed in. They really want to like grow this, business together, and this is what we're doing. So I just said, let's go for it. Let's stretch it. And they want to be here long and lasting, a long time. So 10 more years together, hopefully. And we're going to, spice it up. So that's what we're doing. And we're calling people, and we're not saying like, we'll be your guiding star, but that was the whole,
Yeah.
well, we're really all 5 of us are really into horoscope.
Okay.
As you know, I'm super into horoscope.
Right.
Like I should show you. It's so funny. I'm really into feng shui. I mean, I can feng shui rooms and everything.
You're gonna
But
do your house?
I just did it.
Okay.
No, I just did it myself because
Okay.
our feng shui master's in Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh, what a jerk.
I told Leah, I was like, when is he coming? I'll tell you, Morgan. I'll call you when she's back. And we are bringing out a new brand and stuff. So I think it opens up that conversation. Like, who are these new
Yeah,
members? Who are these people? Blah, blah, blah. So it's cool.
Yeah. So let's say we were to make some of our year-end calls. Okay. So how would those turn out when they say, "Oh, Morgan, good to hear from you." So
Here,
how's
how
the
would I do?
year?
How would I do it to you?
Okay.
Hey,
You're-
Mike.
No, wait. I like control.
You just see what she just did there?
It's reflective, huh?
Okay. Call me. Ring, ring.
I hope it's voicemail.
Do you pick up the phone? Do you actually call people? Because I
I
want
call
as a
people.
big point. Like a lot of agents are scared to call their clients.
Okay, I call people all the time. I feel like a lot of the times when we got a cat in here, when a lot of the times when I get texts from my clients, I'll just call them. And
you just call them. Yeah.
because I
think you have to when you're like, I'm now having to do that too, especially because when you get bombed with all these texts and emails,
Yeah.
I hate it. There's
Yeah.
so many calls,
And when you're
texts
driving
and
a lot,
emails.
it's like you can't.
I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna call them. It's just pointless.
Yeah. So for me, whenever someone asks me how was the market this year, I always tell them it was surprisingly busy. I thought that with pandemic it would be really challenging, the market, but I've been surprised with how resilient the market is and how strong it's performing, and we're at 10-year highs for pricing. And so, but there's still opportunity. And so we're just looking for the right opportunities for people. Just, for me, I think at the year end call, it should always be a relationship building call for the most part. To really just, learn a little bit more about what's happening on their side of the world, and how's family, how's work, how's, golf, how's your game doing? Mine's lousy.
Sean didn't say that. He said you're good.
No.
Yeah.
I was like Shank City last time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Sean and I have been playing like once every couple weeks, and
He's like, Mike's good. I was like, okay.
I can navigate through a course with only a few mulligans here and there, and we went with Amar too.
Yeah, he said
He's
his game is
good.
really good.
Amar's good.
Yeah. Sean was like, his game is really elevated. Like, that's what you get when you get it. I'm like, well, competition. That's what you got to have a simulator. I was like, we're not getting a simulator. I'm not getting a simulator in my house.
Not a VR headset.
He's like, come on, we have green carpet. We have green carpet. I'm like,
Okay.
oh my God.
In your basement?
Please. That's a good birthday present.
What?
A simulator.
A golf simulator?
Yeah. No,
I feel like, golf simulator is like a good idea, but no one ever uses it.
Yeah.
It's kinda
Yeah.
And it takes up so much room.
Yeah, it takes up so much room.
Get him a VR headset instead. I think that you were right with that one.
What, VR headset?
You're in metaverse stuff. You need to get a VR headset.
I'm really into this metaverse right now.
Then you
I'm
need
really,
that's where it's going.
Is it going
Oh,
there?
Yeah.
it's totally going there. Like, we need to open up a brokerage in the metaverse. That's what I want to do.
What? What's that?
Okay, so just think about, this is my simple way of talking about the metaverse. It's like having an alternate world, exact same world, but online. That's how the metaverse is happening. So we're going to have so you could be rich in local life here, but you could be jack poor in that side of it. And everyone wants to be rich on both sides. It's like a whole metaverse thing.
There's currency in the metaverse?
Oh my God.
Every metaverse has its currency, and there's real estate in certain ones that you can buy, and they're like they're
super
crazy
banking.
expensive.
Yeah.
Like 15 grand.
You can
minimum.
have like a horse. This one guy, he like started a horse track, and he's like now selling it for like millions, basically. And there's like NFTs. I'm really into it, right? Because like I was like, I don't understand this. I don't know about you guys, but like I'm watching this, like I'm like, I don't understand this. So I really dug in while I was in Hawaii, actually.
Oh yeah, nice.
And I was really digging. I told you, I was like, I'm going to look into Bitcoin. I'm going to learn about this because I didn't understand it whatsoever. And now I get it. It's first of all,
okay, explain it.
baby boomers don't know what they're doing. This is like baby boomers that just don't care.
So like, let's say,
But millennials, it's their jam.
okay, so explain Bitcoin, just Bitcoin.
Okay, Bitcoin is a
layman.
cryptocurrency
Okay.
that is held, it's just like a currency, but it's digital.
Mhm.
And it's one of the ones that isn't restricted by our government that we currently have. So you
Why
know,
does it fluctuate in value so drastically?
well,
because people trade it.
yeah, like for instance, like we just had a major dip, and that was because the Chinese markets like planked and it went down like 15%. And like it's so volatile. You can't. And so you have to have a couple things. The best thing for people to do is go online, go into YouTube, Google like simple ways of learning Bitcoin, and then I'll tell you. But my friend told me how to like buy Shake Pay and use it in the BioFi, and then using Celsius and using that. It's a lot.
It seems
a lot to
yeah.
learn.
Personally,
Are you into it, Brayden?
Oh yeah. I've been into it since 2017.
oh no.
No wonder we built this
You're one of the
studio.
best. No, but I would say like for some people that don't want to like watch it,
'cause
it's not something you should get into.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's better to just invest into real estate, and it's tangible, and
Right.
you know,
Is it like a buy hold type of thing, or is it a
yeah, it's buy hold. You hold.
because
you
is
never
it, Brayden?
you never
Yeah,
send.
you get. I mean, I've dabbled with. I really like to try and like dabble with day trading and stuff like that, but it's just so. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. You don't
It's
really.
gambling.
Yeah, it's totally just gambling.
Gambling.
But
Yeah,
if you're willing to buy hold, like. If you're willing to buy during like a bear cycle, it's like a 4-year cycle, bear bull. And if you're willing to buy during a bear cycle, like you can 100x your money easily.
like very quickly.
Easily. Yeah.
So the goal is that you should just do little bits of payments into both
So
of
would it
these
be
type of-
classified as a high risk investment, a medium risk investment, or
High.
a low risk
So
investment?
funny, but I find people are saying high, but then now everyone's saying it's a medium to low because it's more
So
more
for
about
Bitcoin,
government.
but then-
Yeah, for Bitcoin. So there's like lots of different currencies. There's Ethereum. There's what is it called? Shibu.
Oh, Shiba Inu,
Shiba
there's
Inu.
Solana.
Shiba
Planet.
Inu, isn't
There's
that
a
a
lot
dog?
of different.
Yeah.
There's a currency that's a dog currency.
Yeah, well, it was a meme
It's
first.
in the
It's a meme.
Dogverse?
It was a meme. It was a meme first.
Yeah.
There's a meme,
Yes.
Yeah.
and it's now worth money.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
I
NFTs.
sound very smart.
NFTs. Like this one girl, she was like 14 years old, and she made like 7 different series of like women with like long necks, and now she's worth 14 billion
14
Million.
million. So like,
that they're
I think
selling
when
their
you're
art.
when you're thinking about, and this is just like, I don't know if this applies,
Yeah.
and you tell me if it applies or does not apply.
Okay.
But for, a big personal finance tip is to build a balanced portfolio of high risk, medium risk, and low risk investments to try to and kind of assign percentages to that. So like, I've been thinking about putting a certain small percentage in that,
Yeah.
and because I was talking to my accountant about this, and he's like, yeah, he doesn't really understand it as well, but
Well,
he
it's
just
very new
so
for
he's
people.
but
the
it's
problem
funny.
is you have to get taxed on it. Like you actually, this is the thing that people don't realize is like, yes, you may be making all this money, but eventually you will get taxed on putting that money out.
Yeah, you pay capital gains.
Your
right?
capital gains. So what's going to be more lucrative for you? Is it better to go put it into a secured insurance? Like you should always, personally, I think you diversify your assets in many different fields, whether it's like medium, large, whatever, medium, high, and you try and find cash flow positive things to invest your investments in, which you're doing. But the Bitcoin is like, it's basically fun. That's how I think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, the cat's gonna take this. The cat. You're good. That was
a nice
graceful.
grab. Yeah, nice grab.
Okay, back to our role playing.
Yeah, anyways,
Yeah.
you should definitely get Sean a VR headset.
Right.
That was the whole crux
Yeah.
of that
Okay.
10-minute conversation.
Yeah, fine. I'll get him a.
Yeah.
I'll get him a. I don't know what to get him.
So how do you do your year? I talked about my year-end calls. How about yours?
Okay, mine would be. What did you didn't?
Yeah,
get
I said
to it.
it was a surprising year.
Oh no, yeah, surprising year.
Yeah.
I would say, hey, I'm like you. I think I'm more relationship. I'd just be like, hey, how's it going with the family? What's the plan? And then it always gets into real estate for me. It's like, yeah, your place, my place I'm thinking of selling maybe later on. What do you think? They always ask me, what do you think is going to happen next year? When's the best time to sell? Just be prepared for those questions.
Right.
Because that's what, at the end of the day, we're perfect. We're not psychiatrists. We're not besties. We're like, they still call me for real estate.
Yeah. So the big qualifier for me is always like, if they're willing to do a meeting, then it's then they're reasonably serious. Otherwise, they're kind of maybe just trying to make conversation. So just say, hey, happy to meet with you for a coffee or, a lunch or something like that to kind of understand that a little bit better. So, yeah. And I think it's a great opportunity to connect with people right now and to kind of, do that type of relationship building in this winter season, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's at home. Everyone's chilling. Yeah.
Text them, call them, send out your Christmas cards big time.
Yeah.
You do calendars.
Yeah. I still do calendars.
I saw Kelsey with filling the boxes up. I'm like, Kelsey.
Yeah, so I still do calendars and I do a Christmas card and I make custom Christmas cards every year.
Oh, cute.
So,
Are the calendars all suggestive poses with you?
Yeah, they are actually. It's like me wrapped in a.
No, it's like the ones from Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, exactly. On the what is that? An ottoman or something like that? Yeah.
Santa hat.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
should do that one year. It'd be funny.
Yeah. But I do a custom card.
Do you do parties? Are you going to do a party next year, you think?
I don't I used to do a barbecue at my house every summer with all my clients, and we haven't done it for the last couple of years, but we'll probably do it.
You should do it.
Year.
Your
Yeah.
backyard's dialed for that.
Yeah.
Banging.
It's big, big backyard.
Just make sure your landscaper doesn't come that.
Yeah.
Exactly. We did a podcast outside, and Braden's like, "Oh fuck, this editing's gonna be bad."
But I think
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Good job.
2021 has been a vigorous year. I think we've had a huge upswing in prices. We have had an election that happened, which was very
federal
push
election.
for sure. We had a lot of natural disasters that happened in British Columbia, but it still proved to be a very prosperous year for many people. And let's talk about our next podcast, kind of what we expect for the new year.
Yeah, for next year. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to the Oakwyn podcast. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please rate it 5 out of 5 on the podcast platform you're listening to it on.
Woohoo.
And if you want to learn more about Oakwyn, go to oakwyn.com/join and type into the message box pod 2021 and you'll receive a free piece of mystery swag. Okay, guys, till
Thanks
next
so
time.
much.
See ya.